Individuals with Disability Education Act. And this short presentation is going to cover the 4 parts of IDEA. Real quick, we are the North Florida Parent Training and Information Center. Basically, we provide information and resources to families for special education. We're not attorneys. We don't represent families. We don't give legal advice. We provide support information, and we help identify options. FND has been the statewide parent-to-parent since 1985, and the value of families getting support by networking with other families is built into everything we do. We get phone calls from families, parents, that sometimes just want to talk, and we're here to listen. Altogether, FND logs over 15,000 calls a year, most of them from parents and family members, but also from educators and professionals who just want information. We have a large database of resources in Florida and a library filled with disability-related information. I help identify options. Our philosophy at FND is that it's not our role to tell families what to do. It is our role to help them identify options and encourage them to make decisions of what is right for their family. What makes us at FND unique is that the majority of our board of directors, management staff, and all of our program staff are parents or family members of persons with disabilities. So as we continue our conversation on IDEA, we've shared Disabilities of Education, the Individual with Disability Education Act. IDEA is a law ensuring services for children with disabilities throughout the nation. It governs how states and public agencies provide early intervention, special education, and related services to eligible infants, toddlers, children, and youth with disabilities. IDEA has 4 distinct parts, sections A, B, C, and D. Each part of the law has remained largely the same since the original enactment in 1975. So let's take a look at each one. Part A is titled General Provisions, Definitions, and Other Issues. It's very important because it discusses the purpose of the special education law. Part A includes definitions of terms that are used in statute and describes the requirements and timelines for the federal special education regulations. It also advises that states are not immune from suit if they violate IDEA. Part B is titled Assistance for Education for All Children with Disabilities, and it refers to special education for children with disabilities ages 3 to 21. Part B of the law authorizes grants to state and local education agencies to offset parts of the cost of the K through 12 education needs of children with disabilities. And it includes funding, state plans, evaluations, eligibility, due process, discipline, and other areas related to direct services. Part C is infants and toddlers with disabilities. The term at-risk infant or toddler is defined as an individual under 3 years of age who would be at risk of experiencing a substantial developmental delay if early intervention services were not provided. Early intervention ends when they turn 3 years old, and then they transition to Part B and enter the school system. Part C requires a comprehensive child find system, a legal requirement that schools find all children who have disabilities and who may be entitled to special education services. Note that child find covers every child from birth through age 21. The school must evaluate any child as it knows or suspects may have a disability. An individualized family service plan, an IFSP, is a plan for special services for young children with developmental delays. It details your child's current level of functioning, specific need, and goals for treatment, referred to as outcomes. Also, it's a requirement that early intervention take place in what is called a natural environment setting, such as the home or community setting. Part D is called National Activities to Improve Education of Children with Disabilities, and it refers to efforts the government will take on a national level. And it includes two subparts. One is the state program improvement grants for children with disabilities. This is training for agency and school personnel. And then subpart 2 is coordinated research, personnel preparation, technical assistance, support, and dissemination of information, such as support and trainings for parents and community. Parent training and information centers and parent resource centers are mentioned in this section of the law, and this is where our grant is funded under Part D of IDEA. That was the short presentation on the 4 parts of IDEA. Please be on the lookout for upcoming modules as we continue our presentation on It's a Great Idea. And if you would like to speak to us directly, here's our 1-800 number again, 1-800-825-5736, or you can reach us at fnd@fndusa.org. And please check out our website, www.fndusa.org, where we have lots and lots of resources and our calendar of events where you can receive face-to-face work with the community as well. So thanks again for stopping by, and have a good evening.